Hello, everyone, and today we will be ranking all of the K dramas that I watched that aired in 2024. These aren't in any particular order, so I hope we all have fun and you find some enjoyment out of this first video that I'm making. And I know it's going to be shit, but I hope we can get through it together. So, the first one, let me just do this. Boom. It's going to be Queen of Tears, one of the highlights of 2024. And we all know it goes right here. It made us cry so much. The internet loved it. We loved it. It was a standout of the year for a reason. The highest paid male actor in the industry and one of the queens of the industry from the hairs or hair. There's two names for it. I just call it hairs. The old school, the OG of all of K drama. So yeah, I really liked Queen of Tears. The whole sad, sad as fuck story. So involving her and her sickness was really good, and the chemistry between these characters was really good. I enjoyed them pretty much starting as like villains to couple, kind of, for this series. I really liked it. He knows how to show emotion amazingly, and the female lead, I've seen a lot of her works, yet I don't know her. I'm really bad with Korean names, so I do know her name from the show, even though I haven't watched the show in forever. A few months from now, or a few months ago. So yet I know her name is Hina only because like her name will forever be Hina in my head, just because of Queen of Tears. So yeah, definitely an S tier. Like there's nothing more that you can say. Like everyone knows how good this K drama is. The next one will be number two, Lex X Cop. Lex X Cop was a rare one for me because I generally like romantic comedies whenever it comes to my K dramas. And this one was more of like a buddy cop story, yet it was a really solid one. The main lead, I know he acted in Descendants of the Sun that I saw a few shots of him in it. Yet as a male lead, he did really great. His performance was perfect for this role, and I really liked the story between him and the female lead. This is also like a villains to romance trope, also because they have to break down each other's walls. This guy's he's like he's a rich kid, but not a stupid rich kid, to where he thinks it's gonna like give him any favor with people. And so him having to deal with his fellow cops not respecting him and slowly breaking down their walls to where the female lead actually respects him the most as his team lead, and so their chemistry was amazing in this K drama, and the whole story throughout it was interesting. Them having to go up against pretty much a cult leader was something you don't always see every day, and I really enjoyed this K drama. The action, everything in it was perfect. So yet I don't think it stands on like the highest echelon. I think it's definitely something that everyone will enjoy if they watch it. So it's definitely an A. Number three is gonna be Red Swan. Mm, I do have a lot to say about Red Swan, only because it reminds me of a K drama that I do not like, that a lot of people like, and that would be the K2. I I did not enjoy the K2. I don't know why. It just left a dirty taste in my mouth at the end of the show, just because in the K2, This is a copy of the K2. It's just they leave out one character in the K2 that I just could not stand, which was the female love interest in the K2. Like this, I'm pretty sure this is written by the same writer that did the K2 or the same director that did the K2. It's just they didn't like the K2 and so they decided to make Red Swan and they put there's exact scenes that are carved like cut for cut the same scenes of the two shows. It just doesn't have the younger female lead in it because in this K drama, K drama, in both K2 and in Red Swan, the male lead is tasked with protecting an older female. And in the K2, the older female and him had more chemistry than the love interest that he eventually got in the K2. And so it left a dirty taste. I like I didn't like it. I love the scenes that they were that the romance between them was. It's just the male lead in K2 had such better chemistry with the older woman than the actual female love interest. So it was just weird, and I think this was just a cutout of that character. This is a K drama of the K2 without the female love interest, and it does make it better. Yet it still makes it a C. It's like I don't know if anyone felt this way while watching it and has also watched the K2. Yet go watch these two back to back. I swear they're the exact same show. Okay, no gay, no love. No gay, no love. I enjoyed watching this weekly. It was definitely not a C tier. Uh, I actually really like the male lead in this K drama a lot, and the female lead is one of the goats. She's been in this industry forever, so everyone would probably like her, or just at least know about her. Uh, what about this K drama? Oh, I'm getting lost. So this K drama had a really it had a deep end game where all the minor characters came together and it they all like formed together into like a perfect climax at the end where they're all doing their separate things and these two characters are doing their separate thing, yet the minor characters and all of it fit together so perfectly. It really ended up being an enjoyable watch just to see all these actors and actresses work together in this series. I thought it was really clean, and it's an overall just it's a solid like you should watch it. All in all, it's not an A tier, yet you'll enjoy it just for the story in it and the funny gags. There's a version in this that has a blurred version and then a not blurred version. I it it's hard to explain. You'll have to watch it to understand what I'm talking about. Yet, uh, the second male lead in this K drama is one of my favorite actors in the industry right now, and this male lead I haven't seen a lot of him yet. He's become one of my favorites just because of this show, and I really like the female lead as well. Her acting's great, and this show is just I enjoyed it. There's not a lot to say about it just because it's just an average story. Yet it was a cleanly written. It feels like it was from a webtoon, perhaps. I'm not sure about that, but it was made for a reason, and it was just a solid story for that. So very clean script, very clean directing, and everything like that. The acting, the characters in it were some of my favorites. So next we will go to why it took me so long to make this video in January of 2025. I wanted to make this video whenever New Year's hit. Yet I needed to finish When the Phone Rings because it was one of the highlights of 2024. And it really closed off 2024 with a bang. It had a solid story. Like the female, like we're just gonna put it in S right now. The female lead, whenever she's doing sign language and she's making her faces, is adorable. And like the internet loved that shit. I haven't seen any of her other works, and I haven't seen any of the other works of the male lead either. I'm pretty sure. Yet the chemistry between them was amazing. Their slow build up, also kind of like an enemies to lover trope. Yet they're already married for 3 years. Was very interesting, and they pretty much had no like interaction in those 3 years. They were seemingly strangers, and then they slowly open up throughout the series, and you really see how much they've always cared about each other. And it was a really just a fun watch. And the villain of this series was very very interesting, like a twisted character, and I thought it was a really great close to 2024, and leading into 2025 it had a really great ending, and it made you look forward to the New Year's. So solid show, perfect in S tier. Actually, I gotta change something. S is purple. So welcome to Sam Del Rey. So also, as the phone rings ended in 2025, Welcome to Sam Del Rey ended in 2024, yet started in 2023. And I watched this one, and it's just one of those like classic character moves back to their hometown after going through some traumatic event or just like having a hard time in life. And it's just a warm story that just every episode just like warms your heart, and you get ready for the next episode. It's definitely like top A. Like any story about a character like moving back to their hometown will always be an A for me. Like the moment you see their old grandma in it, or their some like they go back, and then some characters like, oh yeah, you used to be such a rascal back in the day. I love it. It's such a wholesome story to me. The the male lead is, I think it's a, yeah, the male lead. I've watched a lot of his a few of his K dramas. He's one of my favorites. And the female lead, I haven't watched a lot of her work yet. She was perfect in this role. Like she conveyed this character perfectly. I think the script was amazing. Everything about it was just top A tier. Like this, like it was just a cute little like what's a family vibe, like wholesome. It was wholesome. Yes, all in all, like any story like that is just wholesome, and it's perfect, and it's top A anytime. Now, Lovely Runner. Lovely Runner was an S tier as it was airing. I just think throughout this list, there are a lot more that stand out more than Lovely Runner. Even though Lovely Runner was amazing as it was airing, the time travel aspect was interesting because it had like it had like you didn't know what was causing the time travel, yet you're thinking someone's causing it, yet you're not really sure throughout the whole thing, and it just had like this a weird vibe to it. Yet I really liked it. I think everyone really liked it. These two actors and actresses are amazing for this role. I think they played, it was the perfect roles for them, and their relationship was cute because even before the time travel, like they already had a connection, and they acted like the time travel was the reason for that connection, but they were obviously meant to be together. So I think it's a an A tier. I don't think it's one of the best series of the year. I think it's great for the younger audience, and I love the high school element and then the young adult element. I think it's goaded for being in the genre. It's one of the best in the genre like that. So solid A. I think it beats Flex X Cop. I think it beats Welcome to Some Delarue as well. So like solid top A. It's not in the tier of these though, sadly. So to The Impossible Heir. I think if you guys have watched this K drama, we thought it would be right there. We thought, we hoped, we prayed. Ugh. Such a good premise. It's such an amazing flop. This is one of the worst things I've ever watched. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why either. Perfect. 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 Yeah, it just flopped. I don't know if was the script, the directing, or it's just the characters all went wrong in like the second episode, third maybe. Like if the second male lead just would have stuck with the male lead, the story would have been decent. And if the male lead didn't like the female lead, it would have been perfect because the second female lead is truly the correct option. And anytime the male lead and the second female lead are in the same scene together, it's the greatest scene of all time. Like they should have used that. Yet I don't know why they went into this direction, and it's just a bad show. And I think we all agreed about it as the show was going on. And I can say that for a fact because I was on the internet whenever the show was going on, and everyone agreed how shit this was. the the actors are amazing. The male lead was a standout role for me, and the second female lead is what is one of my favorites now, just for the role that she played in this series. Yeah, the show just went wrong. It just went wrong, and there's nothing else you can say about it. It went wrong. Moving on. Marry My Husband. Also a time traveling story, yet a very good revenge story as well. I love that aspect of it because the people that got screwed over in the end deserved it. And I like the female lead a lot. I've seen a few of the male leads works as of now, and their chemistry in this it was a very like slow burn kind of show, just because of the revenge aspect of it, and they got to plan out everything, and like it has like it doesn't really explain the time travel aspect of it because you never get to figure out how it's happening. Yet it seems like a spiritual thing. It's not like some man made or something crazy. It's like some version of her father's soul is helping her soul in this life or something like that. It's weird. Yeah, it was a really solid story. Great love story. I liked how they figured out that both of them are time travelers, which was really interesting. And out of time travel shows of 2024, it slightly beats Lovely Runner just because I just connected with these characters more, and it was more mature and a lot darker. This Lovely Runner was really dark in moments, but I really liked Marry My Husband a lot. The comedic scenes in Marry My Husband were top notch. Whenever she's trying to break the zip tie around her hand, and the face she makes whenever she fails, the greatest scene of all time. So I'll leave that there. So, Love in the Big City. Love in the Big City is something rare for me because I don't usually watch K drama movies. I prefer the longer aspect of like the 16 episode runtimes and them all being an hour long. It just gives you a lot more of the story. Yet, Love in the Big City, I watched this December, and it was just an overall great watch. I think everyone should watch the story. It's not the TV series, which I've heard that's good. I just haven't checked it out. I was really interested in the movie because I've been wanting to watch a lot more of this female lead's acting and the shows that she's been in. And all in all, like it was a clean story for what it was for an hour long run, or not an hour long, but a movie long run time. And it being a drama, a K drama, I thought it was a really clean story, and it didn't need to be a series. I thought it was just really clean, solid story as a movie, and their connection as like just best friends. All in all, like it was a it was a really endearing best friend movie, and I think everyone should watch it. It's a 1 day watch, clean, perfect story. It also made me start eating frozen blueberries, so there's that. Okay, Atypical Family. I'm not even going to play. This is one of the best K dramas I've ever watched. Even though it didn't have the hype of the I didn't feel the hype for Atypical Family as much as like Queen of Tears or Lovely Runner, yet for me this was a standout K drama for me. The power system in it, how all of it's going wrong because of their trauma that they've experienced throughout life and them being blocked from their powers and them slowly getting it back because they're coming to terms with the trauma that they've gone through was really endearing, and it really felt that they had to work as characters to develop, and you really grew with them as they went. Also, I think if this K drama didn't nail the ending perfectly, it would be a solid C tier, maybe B, just because the acting in it was so good and the characters in it were really good, and the power system was really good. The powers in it are really interesting. It does also have like a time travel vibe to it, yet the time travel is very constricted, and the way that they unconstricted it just for these two characters was really interesting. So it nailed the ending. If it didn't nail those last 5 minutes of the K drama, it wouldn't be as high as it is. Yet they nailed it completely. It was a clean story, everything perfect. Now we'll go to another K drama, Mr. Plankton. And Mr. Plankton was one of the saddest fucking stories out of all this year. It made me cry so much. It's it's so sad, and it's so like the male lead. I've seen a couple of his works. I really like him. He's one of my favorites. The female lead, I haven't watched a lot of hers yet. This show made me pay attention to her. I've seen like I've looked at the recent ones that she's in, and I really want to see more of her work because she's just perfect in this K drama, and their connection in this drama was so like it was perfect. I've seen clips online of there was an unscripted scene where they're on a train track and he almost like pushes her onto the track and she like in real life freaks out. And then in a recent K drama that she's been in, rather than this one. Like she gets jump scared again in real life, and they put it in the K drama. I think that's adorable. Like these the chemistry between them are amazing, and it was a standout for me. Mr. Plankton. It was a clean story that just hit all the beats, and it was like it was a 12 episode. I'm pretty sure 12 or 8. I'm pretty sure it was 12. If it's not 16 episodes, I think it's either 12 or 6 or 12 or 8 episodes. Yet it just made it a clean watch all the way through, and all the characters were perfect in it. And the ending hurt. The fact that the little detail of him teaching her how to drive for a reason, like it all came together. Like it was beautiful. It was just a beautiful show, and I stand by that. Now, one of the few action ones, like total action ones I've seen, Flex X Cop was pretty actiony. As these are probably two of the most actiony K dramas I've watched. Uh, Shot for Killer was one of the best action shows I've ever seen, or movie. In that fact, I think it was just a very solid story. The people that made it really had a an interesting story to convey, and I think they conveyed it perfectly. The fact that throughout the series, it's not from like start to finish. You're pretty much starting at the end and then working your way throughout the whole series, throughout the whole show, and you get little glimpses of the past throughout. And towards the end, it just makes such a huge climax that you really feel fulfilled throughout the whole journey of it, because you've grown with these characters and built through their trauma on a on a on a on a point by point basis, to where it's not just fully conveyed in the beginning, and then you got to like catch up to feel for these characters. You get to feel their journey along the way, step by step throughout the episodes, and you really start to feel for these characters and their backstories, and the action in it is top tier. I think mm, it's definitely one of the series I've loved watching the most, and the fact that we're getting a season two just makes it a league among these. Like it's so close, because Atypical, it wouldn't be as good as this if Atypical Family's ending wasn't so perfect, and the show altogether wasn't so perfect. Just because the action aspect, they didn't have just like regular gear. It's just like it's the highest tech you can get, and I just thought it was an A grade production. Like everything about it was made knowing that it would be a hit, and it was a hit, and so that's why I really liked it. Doctor Slump, I really enjoyed this while it was airing, and the main female lead is a goat of the K drama industry, being from the Heirs, and the male lead is also from the Heirs, and you actually get to see them in a K drama again, which was really sweet to see. You know they've like they kind of like grew up together in the industry, so it was really nice seeing. And both of like the story involving healing from trauma, and that was it really hit, because I think a lot of people go through trauma, and it's tough to deal with whenever you're an adult, and you kind of float through life thinking you're all right, and then it just hits. And both these characters, just like the chemistry, they were great. The story wasn't as impactful. I think it's as good as No Gain No Love. It's just like solid. You will enjoy it. It's good. Watch it. Also, his funny scenes whenever he's drunk is perfect. It's a slow burn for these characters as a love interest, yet I think that might have slowed it down. I think it was like it was a little slow in terms of the rest of these shows. So, a solid B. It's worth the watch. Anything C, don't fucking watch these. Maybe. because now we have Wedding Impossible. I think Wedding Impossible left a lot of sour taste in people's mouths, only for the fact. Oh, there's a few facts. There were some problems in this drama. It was advertised with a big plot involving someone being gay, yet he's like not relevant in the story at all. You can totally cut out his character, I think. Yet, only for the fact that he's supposed to be best friends with the female lead, yet you hardly ever see them interact ever. And whenever you do, it's like for 10 minutes in an episode, and that's it. It was just like, I get what they were going for. It was a feel good show. I really enjoyed the male lead and the female lead interacting, and their connection was a lot more. It's just like the best friend aspect of this. It didn't work, and they didn't really show it, so it just left like it's just an empty show. But it was enjoyable watch. The other aspects of the show are fun. It's just some of the things in this show just didn't add up perfectly, and that's why I think it held it back. But still, it's like it's worth the watch, and you'll understand the grievances of it whenever you watch it. Yet, other than that, it's not anything better than average. So that's why it's there. Now, the last one on our list is one of the last K dramas of this year, and that is Family by Choice. Now, I'm really glad that the male lead of this K drama, who was also in True Beauty, finally got his comeuppance. He finally got his dues, being redeemed from being single his entire life. And this was a really cute K drama, I have to say. It kind of reminded me like the cast in it was great. It kind of reminded me of like the cast of Reply 1988, where they just all fit perfectly, and it was such a good family dynamic that they all just riffed off of each other so well. Like they just had a connection, and I think these actors truly portrayed that. And even the not the main cast, like the subcast too. It was perfect in this story. It was a real wholesome watch. Just the fact that their family aspect is so rare, it seems, in storytelling and just in life in general. Them coming to terms with that, yet still keeping their connection, was really endearing to watch. I think this was one of the cutest K dramas I've watched. The female lead, I haven't seen her in a lot of things. I'm pretty sure she was an idol, and she really just knocked this out of the park. Both of the male leads right here were great, and the father figures were perfect too. Actually, I think the father figures were the perfect couple in this. I swear, they were great. So, obviously, this is a solid S. I'll give it that. Is it better than? I think out of all these, this solid S. So, anyways, that is my tier list of the K dramas that I watched that aired in 2024. I hope some of you thought this was fun, and hopefully look forward to some more videos that I will make in the future. In 2024 was the first full year that I got into K drama, and I watched a solid 55 K dramas. So expect a video of me going through them and the rest of the K drama that I plan and will watch in 2025. I hope you guys found some enjoyment from this video, even though it's so rough and not polished at all. This is my first video, so sorry about that. I hope we can enjoy some more K dramas in 2025. Looking forward to it. Thank you.